But what about the response to this? The response to Nick Shirley, it goes exactly how you would expect. Where most of the people were looking at this just from a fraud or no fraud angle, see it as exactly that. But if you don't, if you're not a fan of this, I'll tell you what, you quickly get the the phobe, all that stuff. Let's starting with Hasan Piker. He said, I don't care what kind of fraud Somalis and daycares are doing, but I think it's a separate crime to try to storm with a camera into a daycare with kids in it.
What?
Bro, shut the fuck up.
What is this take?
God.
He's just contrarian for the sake of being contrarian. There's nothing to... Why?
Sometimes it seems like he just needs to say something to fucking say something. I feel bad that that's his life, where he feels like he just has to compulsively reply to everything.
But it works. His audience just believes it. They're idiots.
That is stupider than the woman crying ice when that guy showed up. There is more legitimacy to her thinking that might be ice than his statement.
George,
I don't care that crime, but what about crime?
Just totally wrecked him here. He's he should stick to wholesome activities like electrocuting dogs. A lot of shock collar here, and Graham Linehan came in. And says, are the kids in the room with us? Yeah, and then Nick came in and says, "Yeah, you would say something stupid like this." And this Nick actually quote tweeted this, says, "People like this commie should literally shock their dogs and complain about America 24/7. And when someone actually leaves their room to do something, wait for it, they defend the criminals." Yeah, that is 100% what happened here, which is just like, I don't understand how anybody can look at that and be like, well, yeah, that was really unfair of him to show up to these 20 different places and have him be shut out at every single one of them. Every one of them. Been amazing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Again, that group, they always look at just the headlines. They just look at the quick bullet point, and then they just go at that. And then they've got personalities, media, etc., that just go along and keep pushing that. That's it. They never read the article. They never investigate. Just the bullet point, just the word racist, etc. The entire party.
Well, this is quickly escalated here as we have even more just back and forth between Shirley and Hasan. But first, this comes from ZEI Squirrel over on X. Says Nick Shirley, who is being promoted by Elon Musk, JD Vance, and the entire conservative media sphere, is a fanatical Zionist Israel firster. He literally went to Israel to do propaganda tour just a few months back. All the Zionists are doing, oh my God, Somalis, oh my God, Muslims for Israel right here. And he posts this, to which Hasan, and I don't know enough about the whole Israel. I don't really care, to be honest with you. But Hasan came back, says, I traveled the world. Hasan was responding to Nick Shirley. Then he responds to this other words. Hasan says, I traveled the world and went to numerous protests. But since I wasn't trying to storm, this is where storm. Look at the wording here. Storm child care facilities with a camera crew screaming, show me the children now. It doesn't count. There's a proper way to conduct a thorough investigation. You botched it for clickbait here.
How? Who would he go to? What position of power could possibly rectify this in any conceivable way? This has been going on for fucking 10 years, you dumbass. Who's left? Sometimes you just got to barge down the door and just do things.
There's no children at the child. That's the entire point of the entire video. Not a single child was at any of these facilities.
You don't even hear one. You don't even hear the sounds of like little child pitter-patter feet running around on some wood. Like nothing at like 10 facilities. We
also have this from Nick Shirley. This was in response here to that post I just read just a minute ago, and I brought these out of order here. Hasan says, I made most of the let me pull this up. It says I made most of the Israeli video demanding to see children in all these facilities, and when they wouldn't let them in, that wasn't evidence of fraud, or that wasn't enough evidence of fraud. To which Nick Shirley says, I was literally a Mormon missionary for 2 years. I'm not a Zionist. Went to Israel with my own money and tried to figure out what's going on for myself and for my viewers so they could see it firsthand versus from a news studio. You seem just to hate people going to a location of the issue. I even tried to enter Gaza, but was denied when I went to Israel. It's called journalism. I don't support the death of innocent children or our dollars funding it, whether it's Israel, Hamas, Ukraine, or Al-Shabaab. America first, always here. And he absolutely ratioed him. And it's pretty amazing, honestly, really amazing to kind of see this story, the back and forth.
By the way, I hate those. I'm so annoyed with these arguments, and I hate when people even defend it. Like, I'm not as I just hate all that shit. Let's say a Klansman went around with this exact same report. It doesn't change the fact of
I agree.
the apparent evidence. Like, so it's just that's just fluff. Who gives a shit? If the evidence is real, if the information is accurate, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
It's even more dumb fuckery because God's Chosen thought it'd be really funny to recognize Somaliland as an actual legitimate nation. So the claims that like somehow this is tied to Israel being the bad guy or like Zionist Jews trying to take down everything is absolutely ridiculous, because clearly Israel can work with a Muslim majority nation like that if the contexts are there. And none of this makes sense at all. And it's very clear they don't know what they're talking about.
Well, Hasan is not the only person who just doesn't quite understand what's the hubbub here. I don't quite understand. I'd like to introduce you to Andrew Mercado. He says produces peace inside daycare centers during Christmas break. Kids not present due to Christmas break. Right wing retards. Look at all the fraud in Minnesota right here. Now, keeping in mind this was apparently recorded a couple weeks ago, before Christmas break, and even then, once again, they don't celebrate Christmas. They don't. So like it's amazing to see. This person says it's amazing to see how retarded these liberals are. Not propaganda. When the other gentleman visited these daycare centers over 100 times, and not once were kids found. Muslims don't celebrate Christmas. Genius. Nothing retarded. Blame the people who expose the fraud and not the people who actually commit the fraud. That's where things are at right here.
Yeah, I'm shocked the Democrat used the word retard. Was that allowed?
What's that?
Isn't that a no-no word? You're not allowed to say retard anymore?
That's a big word. It's supposed to be the R word. You can't say the R word. It's fucking retarded.
They're allowed to use it when it's against the other side, though, right? Then it's not
there it is.
Yeah.
Patrick Bet David came in and said, citizen journalists like Nick will eventually put mainstream media out of business. All you need is a camera and the guts to go to the source. Protect this man. And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway of all this. What did you say earlier, Mitsu? You said you just go do things.
Just go do things. You actually can go do things. Listen, for years and years and years, a lot of people tried to use citizen journalism as a way to go ahead and do things and gain access to places that they didn't belong. So you know what? If that was a left-wing thing and now the right is finally going, yeah, we're going to do some citizen journalism, and the left is mad about it, guess what? It was your game, fuckers. Deal with it.
Joining us now as we continue the story with her PC ready to go. Actually, she left. Never mind. What the fuck, Blabs? She just left.
She saw me and ran. I don't blame her.
Okay. All right. Not joining us now. That's fine. Bummer. Here is this guy says this guy explains exactly what is happening in Minnesota here. Let's check out this video.
How is it that one of the largest fraud rings is happening right now in Minnesota and the media doesn't care? Reports are now stating that of the $18 billion the Minnesota government spends on healthcare, $9 billion of it, at least half, is fraudulent. Taxpayers seem to care. According to this Polymarket graph, 30% of people think that the Somalians who are committing this tax fraud will be, or at least should be, deported. Yet the politicians don't.
What's the likelihood of that happening? Really?
Zero.
Increasing. Increasing.
I'm with you, Phoenix. I know you're big on like the black pill thing. Don't get black pilled.
Yeah.
I think nothing's going to happen here. Absolutely.
Zero.
Nothing.
Absolutely zero.
Yeah. I think this will continue. I don't know. Mitsu, do you have another take on this? You think something's actually going to happen?
So here's why something needs to happen. Your boy remembers back at the end of 2024 when Mr. Elon Musk was talking about very subtly forming a new political party. We are now heading into the midterms. The best chance for a new political party or parties to start emerge is to run in the House, which means if the Republicans don't deliver on good governance in the midterms, they will lose this election hard, which is already historically what's slated to happen. So how do you fix that? You push them a little bit further to the right, but not so far they fall off a cliff, but far enough where they actually fucking do what we elected them to do. Otherwise, they lose. The liberals take over the House and the Senate, and then we're stuck for 2 years and we're fucked. So yeah, they need to do something. And I think this time somebody will actually do it, because otherwise a new party will emerge, and that party will be far more radicalized to do something than the current ones are. You don't want that.
Phoenix will be leading that party.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's finally get some shit done.
Everyone's going to remember the clip from earlier where he said, you shit your pants. You ruined your run.
But I'll say proudly. Yeah.
That's right. You did
proudly.
You'll have 7 voters that were on the plane. They're the people who will not vote for you. Can't believe it. Let's continue here.
Don't care. Look at the lieutenant governor saying that they're the backbone of the economy.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Peggy Flanagan. I am the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, and I'm really
Sounds like
honored
Nightwing.
and humbled to be here with all of you today. I am incredibly clear that the Somali community is part of the fabric of the state of Minnesota.
I'm confused. These people are stealing billions of dollars every year that is not taxed because it's actually taxpayer funds, government assistance that they're receiving. How exactly are they the backbone of the economy? I mean, in a single day, an independent journalist named Nick Shirley and his team discovered $110 million in fraud. I can't even buy a house in this economy, and yet the people who don't belong here are stealing billions of dollars every single year of taxpayer funds, while simultaneously being called the backbone of society by not only elected officials, but the mainstream media. What?
Speaking of the mainstream media, here's a list of the news outlets who have not covered Nick Shirley's fraud story. New York Times, CNN, Washington Post, MSNBC, NPR, USA Today, Reuters, Axios, ABC, PBS. There we go. Every single one of them wrote stories on Elon Musk's hand gesture. Do you get it yet? Over here.
Real journalism's hard. You actually have to do things like go places and talk to people who might take a swing at you sometimes. Oh,
Well,
no.
it's quite intentional. If you don't broadcast the story, no one hears about it. That base obviously isn't going to hear about it. And again, I'm going to just be that broken record that keeps saying, this is what happens when you hand over your culture. When you do nothing and don't participate, now they own the words. They own the megaphone in a crowd. And if you own the megaphone, then you control the population. It's very simple. So that's it. They have every media outlet, all the magazines, all the news reports, entertainment, everything. So if they choose not to echo out a story, then no one hears the story. And then all we say is the word racist. And then that's all the word they hear. And that's it. And it just keeps looping and looping and looping. That's why it's very critical to get involved in culture.
Well, how are the people in Minnesota taking this? Well, here's one guy who was just out for his morning run, and this looks very much like Minnesota, but it seems like he's not very happy about it.
I want to be proud to say I'm from Minnesota again. We welcome people into this community, into this state, and they're stealing from us. They're stealing from you. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what political affiliation you claim to be a part of. This child care center fraud is an abomination, and it should upset every single Minnesotan. People that steal from you are not your friend. People that take advantage of you are not your friend, are not a part of your community. And it's time to drop this Minnesota BS, this Minnesota nice, and start standing up for our state. Start standing up for what we believe in, so that we can be proud to stand firm in who we are in Minnesota and what we stand for. And this is not it.
You really don't want the right to start doing things, because the left just continues to do things, and the right's default position is, we don't give a fuck. We're just here to chill. Please just leave us alone. And when you get enough people who are like, please leave us alone, and they all get together, you really don't want that smoke, man.
But will anything actually be done? I mean, that's the thing.
No.
I just go back to, I just don't think anything's actually going to be done about this. And
I do.
and guess what? It starts at the top. Like, if this is being exposed, the current administration should 100% come in and put the hammer down on this.
Yes.
Like, it should like nuke the whole setup, the whole situation, send ICE to these places, these facilities, get them out of here, kill the corruption immediately. If this has been exposed that badly by one guy with an iPhone, where has been everybody else here? And why has nothing been done here? Yes, okay, some arrest. Awesome, cool. A few people have been arrested. That's great. That's great. This has been going on for how long? That's a win, you know?
The answer is because we needed to pay off. What was USAID for? What was Kissinger's stated position? Kissinger's idea was, let's pay off the world so that they'll all be nice to us. And this is just an extension of that. You had a bunch of people from a country that we went into, and then they killed a bunch of our guys over fucking the dumbest reason I've ever heard of in history. And then everybody with their liberal guilt decided that they were just going to import a whole bunch of people from that area and see what happens in order to make everything better. Because we need geographically control over that area. That's it. And so it always goes back to that particular problem. You can't, what Phoenix is saying is right. You just because you feel bad doesn't mean you start importing people, because you can't vet them. You can't verify where that money is going. And then they are then just passing that money right back over to make everything better. And in this case, what is it? I read an article about this entire fraud thing. There was a gentleman who literally got on a plane with $1 million in a suitcase, comically, like a comical kind of sense of it, and flew back to Somalia with that money. I'm telling you, if they don't do anything, the midterms are going to be a bloodbath for the Republicans, and then 2028 is going to be so much worse for everyone. So please fix it now. Do it before the midterms.
Well, they have. Well, look, I go back to who was it? I think it was Sam Hyde said after Charlie Kirk died. He said, if nothing happens in the next 3 weeks, nothing's going to happen.
Exactly what I think of too. If nothing happened with Charlie, nothing's happening with this. That's my black pill.
Yeah. Yeah. I said this over on X after I saw this. I said, yes, this is upsetting. You should be pissed. No, nothing will be done about it. I don't know. I hate to be black pilled, but I look, give me a reason. Give me any reason to be excited about people going to jail for getting caught for doing bad things. As we're just over here trying to live our life and just be good Samaritans. Society doesn't function when people aren't, they go out of their way to be assholes. It doesn't function that way, especially when they're literally stealing money and sending it to other countries. It's a slap in the face to every single Minnesotan and every single American who's trying to live the right way. It's upsetting. So yes, please give me a little bit of hope. Just a little bit. That's all I want. I don't ask for much.
The midterms is your hope. You hope that the opposing side actually does something with this, lights a fire under the ass. That's the hope you got at the moment.
If this reaches El Presidente's ears, maybe there's a chance, because I could see him being like, okay, well, we surely could use some of those votes. This is a great way to like score an easy slam dunk on political points. Just deport. It falls right in line with his already stated agenda. You just send in ICE, get rid of the Kafia Karen, and just deport people.
You know, I saw in the chat, John says, I've been seeing videos lately, two people saying they're not going to be paying their taxes either, right? Like, why do I want to pay taxes when when it's just going to this nonsense? Otherwise I'll end up in jail. Like, and that's the thing. You get dinged because you did. There's this classic video I saw where it's like, where's this guy talking to the IRS and he's like, so I need to report my taxes. And they're like, well, how much do you owe? And he's like, I don't know. Aren't you supposed to be able to tell me? And he's like, no. The IRS says, oh, no, you need to do your own taxes. And then he goes, well, I don't really know how much I need to pay. And then they go, well, we do. And they go, well, why don't you just tell me? You know? And it's this classic like back and forth. But if you don't pay your taxes, if you're $2,000 off, you're going to get sent to jail for that while there's billions of dollars being like, surely people can see the insanity here associated with this, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think I remember that video. It was a, oh, you pay your taxes, Habibi. Don't worry about it, man. We got the tool for that. We know how much you make. So I could just pay, right? No. You have to do it yourself.
mhm.
You have to make sure. I remember that video.
Oh my God, it's such a mess.
And the problem is too is like, let's say Trump gets involved and he sends ICE. Let me tell you, I can just spoiler alert. What the headlines is: Trump sends ICE to daycare centers.
Yes,
That's the headline, and then you get all the people again. The little virus that doesn't investigate literally anything just gets up in arms.
I would
That's
say
it.
that would be a problem, except that if they send ICE to the daycare centers, ICE isn't going to find children, and they're all going to have body cams.
No, of course, but again, I'm just saying, like, that group, they just look at headline, and headline says Trump send ICE to daycare center. The end. The cam footage does not get released to them. There's no media outlets showing it. They just keep showing that headline.
Oh, you're saying
over
they're
and
just
over
going to
again.
turn it off completely because they're just going to be just
That's
blinders.
what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're seeing it. They're not reporting this. No, they're hell. These outlets aren't even trying to expose it for the other way, right? They're not even saying they're trying to show like evidence against it. They're just staying out of it because if you don't mention it, the story never existed. That's it.
Oh, you know it's got legs.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the most amazing thing about the idea that you have something that has over 100 million views, 100 million views over on X, and the mainstream media has no interest in talking about it.
But you know that. Oddly enough, that's also your white pill moment, though, because the shift is happening. Like this is going to work for so long, where you're seeing it with everything, even just award shows are now moving online because the media space is dying. Your general media outlets are dying, and so that independent market is coming up, and that means more eyes are on it. You could argue that it was due to the independent podcasts and stuff like that that helped get this president elected. So that's the white pill, is that it does look like this information is getting out there now. It's slowly getting out there. It's a little late, unfortunately, but that could mean a big change in about 10 years or so, hopefully.
I hate to be black-pilled, but please just show me anything to have any sort of belief in this whole thing.
Well,
I want to
I'll
believe.
hold the line for you guys. I'll keep the faith.
I think if something does happen, I think we definitely need to talk about it. We need to really project that out to help that white pill out if it arrives of anything being actually done here. We need to really echo that out.
No, I'm wearing my
Well,
Half-Life hoodies, so like I've got some extra faith if you guys need to borrow some, again.
We're growing. Grow with us. Hit that subscribe button. Don't make it weird. Not like that. That's weird.